American colleges and universities are facing a severe funding crisis. The Trump administration's deep cuts to federal funding are forcing even the wealthiest institutions to scramble for resources. These cuts, coupled with economic uncertainty and rising costs, have created a perfect storm for higher education. Institutions are struggling to maintain their operations and fulfill their missions. The situation is particularly dire for research universities. They rely heavily on federal grants to fund groundbreaking research in medicine, science, and technology. The Trump administration's cuts have targeted essential programs, including climate change research and initiatives promoting diversity and inclusion. These cuts have directly impacted research projects, leading to cancellations, hiring freezes, and job losses. In response to this funding crisis, colleges and universities are turning to debt financing at an alarming rate. The first quarter of 2025 saw a record $11.6 billion in municipal bonds issued by higher education institutions. Total borrowing, including taxable bonds, reached a staggering $12.4 billion, marking the third highest quarter ever recorded. This surge in borrowing is a direct result of the funding cuts and the uncertainty surrounding future government support. The trend is particularly pronounced among elite universities like Harvard and Princeton. These institutions, with their large endowments, have long been considered financially secure. However, the current climate has forced them to tap into debt markets to bridge the funding gap. The uncertainty surrounding the Trump administration's policies has made long-term financial planning difficult for these institutions. They are left grappling with unpredictable funding streams and a volatile economic landscape. Harvard University, with an endowment exceeding $53 billion, recently announced plans to borrow $750 million through a bond offering. This new debt will bring Harvard's total debt to almost $8.8 billion. Earlier this year, the university issued $224 million in bonds as it navigates the challenging financial terrain. Similarly, Princeton University, facing funding cuts that include a $4 million reduction for climate change research, is planning to issue $320 million in bonds. This will increase Princeton's total debt to approximately $6 billion. These bond offerings are not isolated incidents. Stanford University issued $327 million in bonds in February 2025, while Northwestern University followed suit with a $500 million bond issuance in March. These developments underscore the widespread impact of the funding crisis on even the most prestigious institutions. The scramble for funds highlights a fundamental shift in the financial landscape of higher education. The surge in borrowing by colleges and universities has raised concerns about the long-term financial health of the higher education sector. Moody's Investors Service, a leading credit rating agency, downgraded its outlook for the sector to negative in March 2025. This downgrade reflects the growing financial stress on institutions grappling with funding cuts, economic uncertainty, and potential changes to student aid programs. The situation is reminiscent of the 2008 financial crisis, when colleges and universities faced significant financial challenges due to the economic downturn. The current crisis, however, is compounded by the political climate and the Trump administration's aggressive approach to higher education funding. The long-term implications of these developments are significant. Reduced investment in research and development could have far-reaching consequences for innovation and economic growth. Furthermore, the rising cost of tuition, driven by funding cuts and inflationary pressures, could make higher education increasingly inaccessible for many Americans. The future of American higher education